In this chapter of Chainsaw Man, Denji puts an offer on the table, which might seem a little off-putting at first. However, if they're clean, like if they just recently took a shower and, she's looking good, there's nothing wrong with eating the booty hole a little bit, all right? He does offer it to a dude, which is also fine. I'm fine with that. Just make sure, again, they're clean. But other than that, I don't think that, we should really rule that out. I think that that's something that maybe we should do more of. It's actually kind of fun. That's not what this chapter is about, but I just think we should bring awareness to, this. And also Denji's character development, because he was all about tits in part one, and he mentioned something about Asa's ass before, and now he's talking about eating booty holes. So I think he's kind of fully developed into being an ass man, which I appreciate. And, I can relate to Denji more as a character now, even though tits are great as well. But Yoshida doesn't have tits, but he does have an asshole.
I eat the pussy, I eat the butt, I eat every motherfucking thing.
There's actually kind of a lot going on in this chapter of Chainsaw Man, and I think it's all building up to this apocalyptic event, this Nostradamus thing that is coming. First and foremost, the Falling Devil was also an attempt to be able to hold Denji and Asa, to kind of like keep them in a secure location while whatever else is going on that Fami is doing. Apparently that didn't work, so it looks like Yoshida and Fami are actually teaming up and pooling their resources in order to do this, because everyone pretty much gets captured except for Asa, but that's still kind of questionable. I feel like there still might be something happening with her that's sort of in the same situation, because she just wakes up in the hospital. She's sort of like out of it. She doesn't really have any response. She doesn't really have any dialogue. She's just kind of like figuring out where she is, while all these news sources are playing information about the fallout of the falling devil, and that this is causing like an immense amount of devastation, like more so than usual, or at least it seems that people are a little bit more on edge. More people have died. There's more things happening here. It's sort of like the beginning of the end. Sort of like the beginning of the falling devil showing up was the catalyst of what's going to happen with the rest of the apocalypse. Like, this was only the beginning. And think about how powerful that character was and all of the things that they were able to do, and that's just the beginning. We still haven't seen death, and we still haven't seen, whatever other kind of primal fears could possibly come out of this too, because even though falling wasn't one of the four horsemen, it was still a very powerful primal fear, and there still probably is a lot of those that also exist that might lead us on our way to discovering who the Death Devil is. I've also kind of thought, I kind of want to backtrack some of my other theories too, with the fake Chainsaw Man, and originally believing that to cause more fear of Chainsaw Man, to put more fear into the world. But this chapter seems to imply that it's the opposite. And if you think about it, the fake Chainsaw Man has kind of been like a no-nonsense kind of character, even though we haven't seen them like visually. But taking out Asa's friend very instantly, saving them from the Falling Devil, it seems to be a character that is very efficient with the way that it does things and with the way that it carries it out. It seems like here, Esiumi, or whatever his name, however you're supposed to pronounce his main name, the character that's the huge Chainsaw Man fanboy, goes on a daytime talk show to talk about joining Chainsaw Man and how Chainsaw Man will help them to victory, and he kind of gets made fun of and whatnot. But I think the idea behind it is that it's the opposite. Like, people are not fearing Chainsaw Man. And if people in the masses, begin to take him less and less seriously, that's going to bring down the fear. And I don't know if that would potentially, lore experts of Chainsaw Man will have to explain this to me, but I don't know if that would actually bring down his power at all. Like, the fact that if like the fear kept dwindling and that there was no sort of like fear of chainsaws or fear of Chainsaw Man or fear of any of that, I don't know if that would play into this. But it seems like Fami sent them there specifically as sort of this, as the ridicule being the point, as she says. She's like, he believes that Chainsaw Man is this great hero, this person that he looks up to, this person that he idolizes, and she's using him as a pawn in order to play into that and play up the idea of how much he cares about this Chainsaw Man figure. and how much he wants it to be this sort of monument of, for people to follow and to join for their cause of peace, because he doesn't like how he's being ridiculed. He doesn't like how he's being laughed at. And then we get another figure behind him that tells him to calm down. You're only doing your part. That he's only the face of the Chainsaw Man society, right? And then Fami is the brains. Well, we have the face, we have the brains, and then I suppose we would also have the body, which I think would probably be this character behind him. Now, it's not Death, because if they're working together, if this is the fake Chainsaw Man, then it wouldn't be Death, because Fami is actively trying to stop that from happening, right? She's on the opposing side. At least that's what it seemed to be in the last chapter. That she doesn't want the apocalypse to happen because she loves Chinese food and pizza and doesn't want these human conventions to be destroyed. But it seems like they have a plan for Chainsaw Man and a plan for what he means to the masses, like the mass consciousness of what people believe Chainsaw Man to be. There's a ploy that's happening here, and I think that Fami and Yoshida have definitely teamed up, because at the end of this chapter, Denji, of course, is captured. He fell asleep in class. How dare he? And now he's captured by Yoshida, tied to a chair, and he does anything he can to get out. But also wondering about Nayuta, wondering about his dogs, and apparently they have all been captured also. In the beginning of the chapter, it shows Nayuta in class, and I like how she's basically commanding people to give them their food, like she's, having that control aspect, of course. Can't help herself. So Nayuta's been captured, the dogs are somewhere else, and Denji wants them to be safe, he wants them to be okay, and so, he offers, the only thing that he could possibly offer in this instance to help get them out of danger or potential danger, and that is to eat some booty hole. But unfortunately for Denji, Yoshida turns down his offer and continues to imply that this is for his protection and that they are under his protection. But really what I think it is the same thing. They are captive. They are being held. Sorry, I just shook my whole desk and camera. They are being held away so that Fami can enact whatever kind of plan that she wants to, involving the rumors of Chainsaw Man and what he is and what he represents, and basically using him as a pawn. So I don't think that she sees him so much as a serious threat if she can kind of keep him under control, keep him captive, and enact what she wants to do, and then perhaps use him at a particular moment. Because there was a moment when they were trapped in the aquarium, which was another attempt, I believe, to hold and contain Denji until they needed him, where Yoshida mentioned something about eating the death devil and like getting rid of like death and what that would imply and what would that mean. And so that's probably something along the lines of what they're attempting to do here, maybe waiting out this apocalypse until death actually shows up. And then using Chainsaw Man in that final instance. But then again, I don't know how that would also incorporate to changing the world's perception of Chainsaw Man. Maybe viewing him as a hero would allow that. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. They're correlated in some way, but I am not smart enough to figure out how. But anyways, interesting chapter, interesting change of direction. I'm wondering how this is going to go, especially with Nayuta being captured too, because she's not going to take that very lightly, and she's probably going to try her own way and own plan to escape, which actually will probably work out much better than anything that Denji comes up with. Also, allowing Asa to have free reign is also interesting. Obviously, Fami knows that the War Devil is connected to her, so I don't think she's just going to allow her to go do whatever. I think the same kind of idea is going to happen with her, and maybe she is captive in some way. Maybe this hospital setting, there's something strange to it that we don't really know yet. I don't know. But overall, I like the direction. I like that it's heading towards this apocalyptic event. Really excited to see it when it actually happens. I'm wondering just how batshit insane Fujimoto is going to make an apocalypse, which I hope that he does. So let me know what you guys thought of this chapter of Chainsaw Man down below. Leave all your thoughts, theories, comments, and opinions. I'm sure I'm missing a lot. I'm sure there's a lot here that I don't quite understand, but hopefully you guys can kind of help explain it to me along the way. Anyways, like this video and comment if you enjoyed it to help it out in the algorithm. Also, if you want to support the channel on a deeper level, I do have channel memberships turned on, Patreon, merch store, and all the social media links where you can follow me down below. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you next time.